Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
You know, for some reason, I really want to sing that silly song, "Doe, a deer, a female deer." It just popped into my head, and we're making kind of a morbid video. I'm sorry.
Well, that's light and fluffy, so we need some light and fluffy at times.
I think light and fluffy in the beginning and after will help the snooze.
Well, we'll have a palate cleanser after.
Good idea.
And here you go. This was our critical update from the Galactic Federation. Hang on, 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now and a lot of tense people in the world. A lot of people going through a lot of changes. Ultimately, it may be hard to see it, but in reality, we are heading, believe it or not, in a positive direction. Yet, at the same time, boy, is it going to be a bumpy road.
Boing, 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 bump.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you could join the Patreon family for as little as $1 a month. It does support us as we have all the challenges that pretty much everybody that does what we do will find, for the most part, when it comes to giving information to the public at large. Well, here's some information for the public at large. This is Biodefense Commission. Some threats demand bold action. This is a trailer. What is this?
Bipartisan Commission on Biodefense presents a Trailer Studios production, Biodefense. From the makers of national security comes a
Oh my God. Oh, wow. From the makers of national security. Oh, yeah. And then it goes on, talks about the president. It talks about toxins being released. Oh, wow. They released toxins. The president's sick. The vice president has to take over. There was terrorist attacks on the U.S. Wow. Craziness, right? Don't worry. It's just a cartoon. It's a silly, silly cartoon. Here's the actual Bipartisan Commission with the Biodefense address, which, guess what they're doing? They're basically dramatizing something that can't happen, something that, maybe in the future. This was, as you see this, it was delivered on May 8th, 2025, and in fact, you can go through all 173 pages, National Blueprint for Biodefense, and you see the scenario. So, wait a minute, they're playing out a role-playing scenario. Yes. Didn't they do that October? October of that 2019 year. Yeah. And what happened in December 2019?
Oh, we lost our channels.
Yes, exactly. We lost our Evolutionary almost entirely, but it was demonetized for literally most of its existence. And, again, here you go. Joint inquiry into administration and congressional actions before and during the bioterrorist attacks of July 4th, 2025. Wait a minute. Let's see. We got 30 days in June, right? So that's 15. That's 19 days from now. They have a scenario playing out where there's bioterrorist attacks on the 4th of July. And according to the scenario, the infectious agent they used to kill at least 280,000 Americans, infect at least 400,000 throughout the country in a single day, in addition to the 200,000 dead, 800,000 sickened animals. These numbers will increase. You get it. And laboratory tests confirmed the Nipah virus caused the disease. Well, yeah, that virus has popped up multiple times. I'll have all the links for you guys. This is, again, the Biodefense Commission. Of course, a lot of people, after Event 201 happening 2 months before we actually had the plague upon the land, a lot of people are just, they got to get out there. Dr. Stella Emanuel is out there saying, wake up, America. What are they planning for July 2025? Remember Event 201. Oh, we remember. Absolutely. I don't know about your plans for July 4th, 2025, but it seems the global cabal may have a Nipah virus surprise in store for us. Same players. Emmy DeWitt, Heinz Feldman, Rocky Mountain Laboratories, National Blueprint for Biodefense. Yeah, and yet it still keeps rolling forward. We really have never seen anybody truly arrested for everything that happened, anybody of significance, with the plague upon the land 5 years ago. And, again, that video, that first video was released a year ago. And, what's interesting, what caught my eye, this person says, is that Lieberman's listed as chairman, past Connecticut senator, has been gone for years. Why was this released in April 2024, yet all the commissioners as well as the signatories deceased? I don't know. I'll give you guys a link over here to Free Your Mind videos where the panel, including Dr. David Martin, is talking about this whole scenario. When you look at it and you realize that I really think that the vast majority of those of us that consider ourselves awake really are pretty clear about what we think happened. As much as, everybody in the mainstream media will always say, and Grok and chat will tell you, there is no evidence. Yes, there's tons of evidence. And in our minds, there's no way you can ever convince us there is no evidence, because we've watched, in many cases, hundreds of hours of videos, read so many articles. We've seen declassified documents. It's like, but yet they'll keep going on with their, I can't hear you. And it's interesting, again, to realize all the money that gets spent in our country and things that most people don't want to have money spent on, our tax dollars. Our tax dollars, so much of the time turned on us. By the way, everything is so planned out. This is Maximus Crypto, by the way. Massive news. China chooses XRP, XLM, and Quant. Well, if the scenario we're watching plays out as we kind of expect it, as far as, the expansion of the war, which ultimately would pit in some way, shape, or form China and Russia against the U.S. and part of NATO. And yet, you already have China laying down the groundwork to use XRP, XLM, and Quant, for their payment system of to come. Again, what this war is going to do is basically bankrupt us, like the Civil War bankrupted us. And then after the Civil War, in 1871, you had a certain banking act. This is no different. It's the same playbook that we've seen time and time again. It's just, again, the cast of characters, the names change, but it's really the same. Truly, it's the same control group from way back then.
We're going through the same thing again, so I think we just need to keep in mind that we've learned a lot of lessons from the past, and that's why we're even bringing this up. It's because we have learned from the past what's going on, and if people are simply walking in awareness, it takes a lot of steam out of that balloon. I mean, it's just gone. So we're looking at things like this, and this can bring on third level feeding. I guess I call it third level feeding, where other entities are coming in and they're feeding off of the fear and the anguish. But guess what? If we learn the Buddhist detachment and we see what's going on, we detach, and if anything, we send love to it, that is going to start starving them out. So I think, as silly as it may sound to some, this is something serious to consider for others.
Yes. And, this parrot knows what he wants to watch.
He does.
I mean, he knows what he wants to watch. He knows what he doesn't want to watch. We know what we believe. And, again, we're not uneducated in our beliefs. We're just simply past indoctrination, past science that is nothing but simply sales. And, we're tired of the system because the system is in its death throes, and it's always been a very, very dark system. This guy knows what's going on. Show love. Your pets can show you how to show love, and they'll show you appreciation too. Show compassion. That's again going to be what's going to be called on, because the dark energies, those beings that literally feed off the dark emotions, if you are emitting love and compassion, they're going to run away from you like the plague.
Indeed.
As always, guys, we invite you on Patreon, Source Bless, and Namaste.
Namaste.